Hello, welcome to the Well of Being. I am Melissa Laborsky, MD. Today, we're going to dive into the concept of our multidimensional heart space. So my personal journey took me through traditional Western medicine as a family medicine practitioner, into mind-body medicine, and into Chinese medicine, 5-element theory, and Qigong. Most recently, I've had an expansion into what I call multidimensional medicine, which is about the connection of our multidimensional selves, our spirit, our intuition, our creativity, and how we ground all that in as embodied spirit. So when we think of the heart from a more traditional Western model, the heart is seen as being this very powerful pump at the center of our being. A pump that is circulating blood throughout our body, so helping to keep it in a clear and oxygenated state. In addition, from a Western model, we can look at the conductivity of the heart. So there are electrical cells in the heart that are maintaining that steady heartbeat. You may have heard of the concept that is more of a mind-body medicine concept of heart math. And that looks at how we literally can shift our heartbeat moment to moment, depending upon our emotions, our consciousness, our state of being, simply by tuning in to these different factors. So it's a biofeedback mechanism that literally can alter how our heart is beating. Also, even from a more traditional Western perspective, the concept of heart rate variability. So this flow in the rate of the heart, it's not supposed to be in just a rigid, narrow, like, this is my heartbeat, it is always 60 beats per minute. And that's like the responsiveness and the sensitivity of the heart to different factors, not just physical, because as we know, the heart is multidimensional. It is physical, it is emotional, it is spiritual. From the Chinese medicine perspective, the heart is seen as being the king, is one word that traditionally is used. I like to use the word as being a spiritual leader, like the Dalai Lama. So the heart holds this space where it is able to have a higher perspective on everything, more than what our mind might have, a compassionate perspective, because in the end, from the highest perspective, everything is love. It is our mind that can get us stuck. It is our beliefs that can get us stuck in judgment and saying, that's not love. But the heart knows, it has this beautiful inherent wisdom that knows that at the heart of it all, everything is love. So this compassionate, wise, energetic connection that we have, the heart is the portal and the connection through the Chinese medicine perspective to our highest spiritual self. So kind of taking those threads and looking at if the heart is pumping blood, and what is blood? Even from the Chinese perspective, the blood is so important because it is helping to carry our life force. Life force is created from blood, and life force is created from blood, and blood creates life force. It's this beautiful circle. So they are a continuum. So literally the heart is connecting into our life force chi and circulating it throughout our body through our heart. When we open up to this higher, more expanded perspective and begin to see that the heart truly is this multidimensional embodied chamber that is so connected to our spirit self, that is so connected to our emotional self. With heart math, when you look at what are the factors that are altering the heart rate, it is physical factors, of course, but it is also very much emotional factors, and even if we were to think of it as spiritual factors, when you open yourself up through meditation and how that impacts what's happening with the heart. So we can think of the heart as being this temple that resides within us, that connects us spirit to mind to body. So I want to open up to a light language and energetic and channeled message that wants to come through about this connection to our heart space, and we'll see what other wisdom wants to be shared as well. Simere atakai, anaite atakau, ayalau alahai. Se alahu anadau sayanaharanahe Sundaraya. So some of what I'm hearing in the light language is the importance of recognizing all the aspects of what I touched upon. That the heart is embodied, that the heart is directly connected to our emotions, that the heart is directly connected to our spirit, it is particularly important for all of us right now to begin to connect to this higher level of connection, recognizing emotions, in particular emotions and beliefs that might have us closing our heart, and recognizing that it truly is this temple of spirit that allows us to circulate not just our life force, but our spirit throughout our entire being. So having that awareness and allowing ourselves, as we have that awareness, to recognize the places where our heart might be closed. Because we are being called to open and open and open for every level, for our own health and well-being, but also for living in this more expanded state of being on an earth where there's so much more wisdom that's available to us. I have spoken in past videos about this concept of, tuning in to the wisdom that's around you. Your heart is one of the most important connections for tuning into that information, listening to your heart, tuning into your heart. We already use these kind of phrases, and this next phase is about taking that to the next level. Sunyara hinte ai antoye se rara he anakuai e aran setike ai Sunde are tiki antoko atate. Sunde aronda itsekotan yara watakea. Sundari etsekonda itiki tsekanda itakea shanda itsekoai atakoai. Andayara wale alwai. Andalai ala wala wale wala wai. Andalai ala wala. Andalai ala wala wai. So practicing tuning into your heart space is something It's super essential for each of us. So what is the heart? It is love. It is what brings us joy. So really connecting in for yourself, that feeling you have when the heart is so open and so full. And as a practice, really being aware of that in a way, like a higher level of intuitive heart math, of tuning into the embodied feeling of when your heart is open, when your heart feels connected, when you feel the flow of love. And that is one of the next messages I want to say is, with the veils being gone and everything being more open to the spiritual realm, there's so much more love that wants to be received. It's here. It's always been here, but there's been various things that have kind of limited the flow of that energy being present, in particular as it relates internally within ourselves. So this practice of opening to your multidimensional heart, attuning to your multidimensional heart, clearing. That's essential whenever things like that happen, whether it's yawning or a cough or something, you're opening up even more. So when you are, the part of the reason why we're all being called to this practice, like I literally am like stretching, expanding, not like an exercise way, but in a way, yes, we're stretching the emotional and spiritual components of our heart because we're ready to receive more. It's more easy. It isn't that like suddenly like there was less love and now there's more love. The love has always been here. It's just easier for us to access it, and we need to access it. We need to, literally, for our whole body being. So having this practice of connecting into the heart space, listening to this message and listening to the channeled energy, the frequency of the light language that supports you in opening and connecting to the heart space, and listening to your own heart and tuning into things that bring you into that expanded space. And again, that feeling will be different for all of us, but when you know, you know. When all of life suddenly becomes like, I'm wearing rose-colored glasses, like it's so beautiful, everything is so magical, you know your heart is very open. So we need more of that. We need more of that. And looking at that from this concept of the heart is, yes, the heart is this reservoir of connecting in. It is like a reservoir. Like if you could think of love, and you can think of, I want to bring that in, and it comes in through this reservoir, and then you can spread it throughout your whole being. And it's this reservoir of compassion. So as we are able to bring in and infuse our whole being and our lives with more and more and more love and compassion, you can see how that shifts and changes everything. It changes your connection to yourself and your inner experience. It changes your connection to your outer world and how you are understanding relationships and other things that may be going on in the greater world, when you can eye it like this higher spiritual leader with this high level of compassion. It helps you through this alchemy within, through this practice of expansion within. It expands your own ability to hold compassion in your being. So this beautiful bowl I have over here is a rose quartz bowl. So I'm going to tune into that and bring in some more light language. dan ziarati andai. Sundiare, sundiare. Dan sandie andai. Thank you for joining me today. Bir santai, sorry.